Back on Adapt and Respond with me, RJ Young. If you are new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Like this video and answer the question in the comments below. Do you think the Texans can go wide or wide as the #1 team in the entire country? That means that you expect either them to beat Ohio State on August 30th in what has become a 1 versus 2 according to the coaches poll, or you expect them to lose that game. Please let me know in the comments below. I'm going to give a pick on this game. I'm just not going to do it right now. I'm not going. Why would I do that right now? That's not what you want. You want me to be able to tease this all the way out. We got to wait until some things happen. Hell, somebody could get hurt during preseason camp, which could sully the pick, which frankly is what Texas did last year. CJ Baxter got hurt. Christian Clark got hurt. Can't count on Quinn Ewers to make it through the entire season healthy, but that's why you got Arch Manning. Also, Arch Manning's coming into his first game against a top 25 opponent in Ohio State, let alone the defending national champions, right? I should say as a starter. Arch Manning's first game as a starter at quarterback. They expect to be good, though. DeAndre Moore wants to win the Biletnikoff Award. He wants to win. He wants to have the most touchdowns in a single season by a Texas wide receiver. He wants to have the most receiving yards in a single season by a Texas wide receiver. He wants to be a Monstar, and he's got that sort of ability. He can be great. But to do all of that, I think, you can get them Texas records just by playing in Texas. You want to be the Biletnikoff Award winner. There's that dude named wearing 4 over there that's from Earth 838. And he ain't regular, DeAndre. He ain't regular. That man single-handedly put the whooping on Oregon. Then Texas said, we're going to bracket him. Okay, cool. We'll put the whooping on you too with Carnell Tate, with Brandon Ennis, with these bevy of running backs we got. I would remind you, Texas scored 38 points in his 2 previous games until it played Ohio State, and then scored 14 points. So the defense that last year was nasty too. I have every expectation that the defense is going to be nasty this year. Will Matt Patricia take a little while to get going? I don't think so. I really don't. You got Caleb Downs. You got, oh my gosh, Edric Houston going down. That hurts. That sucks. I hate that for him. But CJ Hicks, I expect him to jump up. Sonny Styles is going to be a dude. Like, they got guys, right? Arbel Reese is a dude. Meanwhile, Texas, like, RG, you saying that like Michael Taft and Anthony Hill and Trey Moore ain't right there. Colin Simmons ain't right there. Yeah, they are. It's going to be a great game, and I can't wait to watch it. It's going to be a big noon. 11 a.m. kickoff Central Standard Time. I know y'all are very happy about that. I know you're extremely excited. I know there was no other time slot in the world that made you as excited as hearing about 11 a.m. kickoff for what is the biggest game of the college football Labor Day weekend, which is also the weekend in which we go to work. We go ham during that weekend. And then the NFL starts up and people forget about the sport until the College Football Playoff Selection Committee does its thing. They forget about it again until we start playing meaningful games, New Year's Six Bowls, College Football Playoff is going 12 teams, straight seeded, revenue sharing, the whole lot. I think for me, this game is going to come down to the matchups of the quarterbacks. Julian Sand is going to be real raw. I'm assuming he's going to win the job. Lincoln Kienholz could win the job. I don't think Lincoln Kienholz is going to win the job. I make this segment like 5 times already in the last 6 months, and we'll probably make it again as Ryan Day says something different. But if you're asking me, Julian Sand is going to be your guy. Behind him, it's much more interesting. CJ Donaldson transfers in from West Virginia, drops some weight, ought to be fast and powerful. We expect James Peoples is going to be a dude in that tailback room. We know they have experience on the offensive line because they were hurt across it last year. We know that Max Clare figures to be a real piece that they can use at tight end. I can't wait to see what Keegan Bailey comes up to do with him. I mentioned the wide receiving core, but that's Brian Hartline, who's now the OC and who now has the play calling privileges. It's going to look a lot like the offense did last year. I don't think anything's going to change. I think it's going to be more like, hey, this is what we run. So now everybody runs it. This is what Mike Gundy did at Oklahoma State, and it's had mixed results. With Ryan Day still being head coach, still being very heavily involved in what the offense is doing, I have every expectation that Brian Hartline is going to be just fine as the OC and wide receivers coach. Billy Kessler, or Thessler, excuse me, he's going to have a job, right? Assuming that Julian is the guy, keeping him under wraps, making sure that he makes the routine plays, making sure he doesn't put them into unmanageable situations or gets them out of bad plays. That's going to be it. And that Texas front seven is going to come after him. Pete Kwiatkowski is one of the best guys in the entire country at calling defense. And that's the other thing I think Texas has over Ohio State. Continuity, frankly. Steve Sarkisian kept himself as OC, but also Kyle Flood as his offensive coordinator. Not Jeff Sarkisian. Banks, goodness me. As special teams coordinator, Pete Kwiatkowski, I mentioned. That core group now has been there forever, and that matters. Meanwhile, Ryan Day had to replace the offensive and defensive coordinator, right? How much of that is going to translate into the game, as opposed to knowing what you had in a guy like Chip Kelly, who knows your offense and took a little bit of time to figure it out. Frankly, they went away from running the ball as often as they did and started throwing the ball to number 4, which is football, one-on-one. Who's the best player on the field? Get him the ball as often as you can. I still don't know who that is on the offensive side for Texas, and I think we're going to figure that out. You would tell me it's Arch Manning, but Arch Manning's not going to be throwing the ball to himself. He's got wheels. He's probably going to make some plays that other quarterbacks cannot make by themselves. But DeAndre Moore is going to need to show up in that slot. You're going to need to see Ryan Wingo come on in a big way. Jack Endries, transfer from Cal, expect him to show out. And then I would love to see if CJ Baxter is still the guy from Edgewater that I remember, who is a monster. That dude can absolutely fly. You just need him to be healthy for the entire season. And then, not to mention, Quintravian Wiseman is probably going to be the first guy getting reps, because Steve Sarkisian goes out of his way at SEC Media Day to say, hey, you guys do know that we returned the SEC's leading rusher, right? And I'm going, 1,046 yards, 15 games, sure, okay. I also expect that to be your number 2 back when we get to playing OU Texas, which is something else entirely, right? But this is going to set the table for how we view Texas and Ohio State, more importantly, how we view the Big Ten and the SEC. Assume Ohio State beats Texas 56-14. Let's just assume it. We're going to look at the rest of the SEC and say, are y'all really as good as you think you are? If this is what's going on with your number 1 ranked team, they're going to be, hey, Texas new, right? Georgia, Alabama, LSU, compare that. No, it's not how it works. With the roster management, with the turnover, you can get whomever you want. And the thing about Texas has always been true. They will have a top 5 recruiting class. They will get whomever they need to in the transfer portal. And they got more money than Oral Roberts, who threw it up in the air and once said, what God catches, he keeps. It's a true story. You should go look that up. It would tell you to put your hands, lay hands on the television set. Potter's house. That's in the Leroy Thompson. My bad, Pastor Thompson. Dr. Fred Price. Don't make me get on my TBN right now, but like that got under my skin. The whole what God catches in the air or throws in the air, God catches, he keeps. That got under my skin. I ain't like that not one bit. It's like, RJ, that's your hometown school. It's one of them. I don't claim Bishop Kelly, Metro Christian, Cassia, Highland Hall. Victory was over there. Church on the Move was over there. Higher Dimension. Some of y'all will never know what Higher Dimension was or what it is and how it was getting down with Bishop Pierceman over there. There was ladies that were showing up there. And let me tell you something. Sinning was on some minds when they saw Bishop Pearson, who I swear to you, for years, I thought that was Prince. I'm a kid now. I'm a child. I'm like, why is Prince giving a sermon? It's going to be loud. It's going to be fun. And there's going to be some sinning on some minds when we talk about Ohio State playing Texas. I think one of the other things that we're going to have to really pay attention to is how conservative they plan to play it on 3rd and short, on 4th and short, who goes for it, who decides to just punt the ball back to the other team and play conservative football. I think Ohio State should believe it has an edge here because this game is in Columbus. And if you've been to a game at the Shoe or you plan to be at the Shoe, it ain't a fair place to play. The last SEC team to go into the Shoe and think they were going to win also wore orange. And they got the 4.5 now. They got beat down like they stole something. I have every expectation that this could be exactly how it goes for Texas. But you know what? Then I think, I don't know, dog. Michael Taft's an All-American. Anthony Hill's the best linebacker in the SEC this side of Harold Perkins. Colin Simmons, Trey Moore, they're going to be monsters. CJ Baxter is my X factor. What's he going to be like? DeAndre Moore talking his noise. Ryan Wingo's that dude. And it's like, hey, stop all that, RJ. Jeremiah Smith's over there. I'll say it. Please be healthy for the entire year, JJ.